Hello?
Waffle to me. Welcome to the Waffle Soup Podcast. This is pub chat for those who love shy talk. Drink it up as we waffle about all sorts of random crap in a delicious soupy broth of juvenile bollocks. Grab a drink, get settled, and let's talk rhubarb. Waffle soup is served.
Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of the Waffle Soup Podcast. Yes, it's like a magic 8 ball, except we are not magic at all. But we do look like a pair of balls, though.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I'll take that.
I would say it's the 8th wonder of the world.
There's more than 8 now, actually.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, we had this conversation the other day, because the 8th wonder of the world is back, like, what was it? It's King Kong, 8th wonder of the world or something.
No, I'm talking about real stuff, though.
Yeah, but that's what they were saying. Remember they were like, oh no, he was the 9th wonder of the world. There's actually 12 wonders of the world now.
Are you counting wrestlers and all in this, then?
Well, it should be.
What are you drinking to start us off with?
So today,
the 14th wonder of the world.
I am back to Mr. Guinness, because I've seen a thing on YouTube and a few different things on how to pour it, and let's see, does it work? So there's a good...
Wait, YouTube. That's not you porn, though.
Well, I was obviously typed in the wrong address at the time.
Okay.
And right, so I'm going to try number 2. Remember, kids, good sharp knife.
So, for those listening, Colin's going to stab his can again.
Yeah. So what you do is, right, for those listening actually, maybe I should have done that the first time. So you get a can of Guinness, and you're going to open your can of Guinness as normal, and then you're going to turn it upside down.
Really fast.
Completely upside down, just let everything flow out of it. But then into the glass, yeah, and then then you stab it.
I'm glad we cleared that one up.
You stab it at the very bottom, which then lets all the air.
Which is now the top.
Yeah. Right. Without further ado, so here we go.
Some of them listening going, what did we do? Fucking definitely.
Stop me, man. What's happening?
So I've done it. Actually, it was a pretty good point. Right, open. Okay, so now she's spilling out. So you do that, right? Upside down. In, out. Fuck off! And it flows so perfectly. But whack away.
Whack away, stabbing your cans. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Absolutely not.
That's what I'm drinking.
Alright,
What are you drinking, Baz?
Guinness, I've never heard of Guinness. I'm drinking something called Treat City, right? It's a super juicy IPA. It's 6.1%, so... But they have a little label on the front going, looking forward to, and a blank. So you have to fill it in. You basically have to write in the can.
So you have to do work.
Yeah. What I mean?
Mouth.
I just wrote in mine. Looking forward to making my piss smell tropical. But yeah, you take a picture with it and you put it up on social media, and they like might send you free stuff.
Really?
So I'm gonna actually do that now. There you go.
That's how you take a good photo like that, boys and girls.
So just send us the money now.
Teeth and that. Liverpool squad photo.
But yeah, no. So it's pretty good stuff. But I don't like the way, right? This is something I'm meant to actually have a rant about. See the way it says in that super juicy. As in, like, the super being an adjective or whatever you call it. Is that the word? Is that... I'm a shit at English.
You're looking at me.
I'm looking beyond you. But you know what I'm trying to say? You know when someone goes, oh my god, I was, like, super tired last night, or oh my god, I was super this, or... Like, who fucking invented that or brought that into the...
Oh, it wasn't
The happy pair of twins again, was it?
It was a big gay owl from... I'm super, thanks for asking. Like,
Well, no, but, like, that's fine if you go, I'm super. You know, because
Yeah.
I'm good. But when someone uses it as to
oh, it's super, yeah.
super
awesome.
something, or, you know, super awesome.
If someone tries to sound like they're more of something than you,
Yeah.
by just saying it slightly louder.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of going, like as you said there, it's kind of like, oh man, I'm starving. They're going like, I'm starving. And then they're going like,
What if you go, I'm super starving, and then you go, because they're probably a vegan. And they're of course they're starving.
starving for their life.
I'd murder a cabbage.
Starving of food. I'm starving of friends. I'm starving of soundness.
Starving of sense. But what did they say? You know when we're walking home from a night out and you're starving, you go, fucking murder a batter sausage or a fucking big dirty burger. What did they go? I'd murder a cabbage right now or something like.
Can they eat
Oh, they
chips?
can't. They don't like murdering anything, do they?
No, if it has a face.
Yeah, cabbage. The cabbage have face.
Some of the cabbages I know do.
You kind of look like a cabbage actually.
So they're all this kind of thing. Oh, we don't like meat. We love plants and all this. But then at the same time, they try to make everything look like meat, or they try and make everything taste like meat without being meat.
Yeah.
So they're all like, Beyond Meat. It's a burger that tastes exactly like meat. but it's not meat. And it's like, but I thought you didn't like meat. Like, if you don't like meat, then like, you know.
It's like Ross Flynn's argument about lesbians. He goes, if you hate cock so much, why do you have dildos? It's like, well, he doesn't realise this. And I think a lesbian said it to him. It's not the cock we hate; it's what's around it we hate.
Yeah.
Which is a fair point.
Yeah, but like I always say that about like vegans. Like, if God didn't want you to eat animals, He wouldn't have made them out of meat. You know, like
That's true. Yeah.
So it's.
We're very vegan battering on this, but you know.
I'd love to eat a battered vegan. Eating battered would be amazing.
We apologise to any of our vegan listeners, which is probably definitely zero by now. Anyway. Actually, I take it back. We don't apologise for anything.
Yeah. How dare you?
How dare you? So there you go. All right. So any crack with you? Oh, sorry. I let you swallow there first.
Oh.
Ooh. Usually a conversation we had.
So my crack, right?
Uh-oh.
It's a little bit sweaty.
Very hairy.
But no. So yeah, I was talking to a guy the other day, and it was quite interesting, right? And we were basically. Sorry, his name was Barry Sheen. But
Great name.
So no, it's more like just a question to you guys to see, does this ever happen to you? So like, I was saying to him about like I drank loads of aftershock one night.
Yeah.
And I woke up in my front garden.
Yeah.
And fucking in
Yeah.
a
Puke
bad
got
way.
purple and all
Puke
that.
got purple. It was all over my shirt.
Yeah.
The whole lot next morning. But about 3 weeks later, I was in getting a coffee and I bought a cinnamon bun, and the smell of cinnamon made me start wanting to vomit. Like, I couldn't find anywhere to put the bun down. Like, and I had to run out of the shop and get air.
Yeah.
And like, so then from now on, like, you know, or from then on, I should say, the smell of cinnamon brings me right back to that morning of how sick I felt and all that. So the guy I was talking to, he used to drive for Tesco, and he was saying to me, like, you know, when he was driving for Tesco before they were like Stowbar trucks, he used to drive along and he'd have to pull over if there was jars in the back.
Yeah.
Because the jars would be making the sound of all the jars hitting together. And he was saying, like, he was so drunk one time on a Sea-Link ferry that he was in the duty free, and all the noise of all the things rumbling together and all that just made him feel so seasick that he had to sit on the floor in the duty free.
Yeah.
But he said he was driving along one day and all the jars started rattling in the back. He said it was about 15 years later, and he had to go pull over to the side of the road and sit down at the side of the road. And he had to ring his boss and say to his boss, I can't bring jars or glass ever again. So he got put on crisps and biscuits, like, you know. I was like, yeah, but that's what I was like, that's fucking crazy. So then I was like talking to other people during the week, and people were saying like, oh yeah, I can't taste this. It was like you were saying with Werther's Originals, they taste like car sick.
Yeah, they do, car sick.
Dude, they're fuck.
They fucking are, they're car sick.
Tremendous sweets.
Well, every time I eat them, you know that horrible car sick feeling.
But you were obviously eating something.
Yeah, maybe.
That was like Werther's
but it was
Originals
like
at the time.
with Coke and orange juice was like that for years for me because of the vodka. You know, that's all you used to drink with when you're in the nightclub or before you go out, whatever. Especially Coke. And for a long time, I was drinking Coke sober, kind of going, is there vodka in that? It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking it's rotten. There's nothing worse. Alcohol, like one of the few downsides to it is ruining nice drinks and food and experiences and stuff.
But because you tend to overdo everything when it comes to alcohol. So you find something that's lovely and you go to yourself, I wonder what that'll be like with a drop of vodka or whiskey in it. And then it's nice. Then the next 3 weekends in a row, you end up putting vodka or whiskey in it. And then after that, it's like going, I don't like that stuff anymore. I remember absinthe. People used to be like going, let's get a few shots of absinthe. And they'd be like going, and lads would be like going, do you know absinthe and hallucinogenic? And he'd be like going, like, really?
Apparently it was banned in Ireland for years.
Yeah, fucking rightly so.
My dad had a bottle of it in the kitchen. When we used to drink in my parents' kitchen the odd time. And we dared Red to fucking have, but like whatever way he fucking, I don't know, did we make him do it or did he suggest? We had to put it on a spoon and light it like it was a heroin fucking injection or something. Whatever, it made him 20 times more drunk.
So any crack with you, Baz?
Oh, is that all you got? Jeez, that's fucking very disappointing.
I had more, but I can't remember.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
I was gonna say they'll come at me in a minute.
You know, okay, so Father's Day is coming up or whatever. What a day! I mean, we should really be milking this for all it's worth. But
It's a lot of chaos and stuff.
you know these hallmark occasions that happen throughout the year, like Father's Day, Mother's Day, and all that kind of shit. You get emails from various companies going, you know, oh, why don't Father's Day's coming up? Why don't you buy one of our products or whatever? And you're kind of going, it's a bit fucking loose, the connection there, you know.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff I was getting sent, I was actually pissing myself laughing. But the worst was I got an email from envelopes.ie. Going, why don't you treat your father this Father's Day with some fucking envelopes? If I got some fucking envelopes as a present, I'd be going, what am I meant to do with these?
Nice.
Oh, I know. File my divorce papers in them.
Why would your wife be getting the envelopes for Father's Day?
I don't know. But this is the emails I'm getting.
Oh.
That's what she's getting for Mother's Day, though.
I was like, I gotta turn you down now, but I'll be back to you in a few weeks.
In fairness, envelopes would be better than some of the stuff I got her in the past. Like nothing. I was making Spotify playlists. I fucking love it. Obviously, because it's a 40th, so you're looking at 80s, 90s tunes, especially 90s. And you know, I was throwing in some classics, and I was like, this is fucking great crack and all. Then I was there looking up lists and stuff, and I saw Scatman John. I was thinking, what a tune. And then it reminded me of, like, remember the rumours going around the 90s about how he died?
Is he actually dead?
Oh yeah, he is, yeah.
Is he?
But I'll get to that, right? But I looked it up in Wikipedia, basically, Scatman John. But I was telling my son about the rumours about how he died back in the 90s. Because before the internet...
Too Unlimited, yeah.
Yeah, there was a car being driven. But the first off, the rumour was that Too Unlimited, this other 90s dance group, died. They died. And everyone's, oh, it's shocking. Did you hear Too Unlimited died?
Yeah.
You can't, there's no internet to look it up. No fucking...
Well, he's dead, she's in a coma. That's what
something like that, yeah. But then, like, the story was spread around the schoolyard, and then you go, and did you hear Scatman John was driving? I was like, now Scatman John's in the fucking thing.
You're getting dragged
then,
into
like, you're getting all these, like, oh, Hadaway was in the boot and all this.
Yeah.
But, like, but Scatman John, can you imagine him driving on? Just concentrating the road there, John. And Too Unlimited in the backseat.
Yeah.
It's just the most bizarre situation.
Police afterwards taking a statement, like, you know what I mean? This guy is
He's
obviously
clearly drunk.
high as fuck. Let me just read that back to you. Skibby dibby dabba dibby dibby dabba dabba do. Bop bibby dibbo. Are those your words, Scatman?
I was hoping to fuck that Wikipedia, some absolute wanker typed in the Wikipedia, you know, that he died in a car crash because he was driving Too Unlimited to a gig and one was in a coma. No, unfortunately not. It was actual truth. He died of like lung cancer or something, which is pretty predictable because he did sound like he smoked about 50 fucking fags a day. So yeah, that was pretty much it. R.I.P. Scatman.
R.I.P. Scatman, indeed.
But we were talking about, like, I don't know how we got talking about priests and all, right? But we were there going, we were talking about going to mass and all, you know. Remember, you'd see all the albums up the top doing their, you know, and now for the communion lads, you know what they call those, the ministers of the Eucharist or whatever, and there'd be 3 or 4 lads going, yeah, that's me, fucking pissing it up to get there ahead of everyone. Just give me the fucking wine. Like, they'd be drinking like Sunday morning, oh baby. And like they made it look so delicious the way they drank it, like, you know, and they were like, oh. And I always wondered what the fuck was in that.
I know, yeah. But
like, did they go into Lidl and they buy like 10 of the cheapest bottles of wine and all?
Well,
we looked it up. Anyway, we looked it up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they buy boxes of it's called Eucharist wine, and it's got alcohol in it and all, but I'd say it's absolute pish. Like,
it's like Lambrasco or something, or Lambrasco.
Yeah.
Fucking just the shit.
But then we started looking up the rest of
wine.
stuff. Like, we were saying, you can actually order it, and can you order you can order the communion?
You get the bread.
Yeah, you can order all that shit.
What a night.
That
Yeah.
is a brilliant
What a
night.
fucking night.
We must do that, lads.
Okay.
Just have a priest night in.
Yeah.
We all have to wear black.
Yeah. Get the Eucharist out there. The Eucharist crisps.
They probably come in bags like fuck.
It's
And
like-
do you know what? You'd do it once, and then Lidl and Aldi would fucking hear about it. They'd have knockoff versions of the Holy Communion
Well,
bread.
Judging by what I saw on this website, I don't think you can get any more knockoff.
They just changed the names,
Yeah.
like
My mouth's
Holy
bit dry.
Confirmation bread.
My mouth's a bit dry from all the. Can you lash me over some more Eucharist wine there?
I couldn't touch another one of these breads, lads. I'm fucking all prayed out. You have to say a prayer after every one.
And like when priests go out in the piss, when they come in, instead of eating packets of ham and all, do they Do they just lash into the Eucharist?
Into the tabernacle.
It's
That's
like,
why.
back to mine, lads.
Doesn't the thing have to be locked up and all? And there's like the head priest, whatever his name is, God.
Actually,
Yes,
your man.
he's got the key. The Pope. Sorry, the Pope.
A guy texted me the other day, guys. He was listening to the podcast now. He's only a couple of episodes in, but he's like,
I feel sick.
yeah, hang on. This is the shittest thing ever. He fucking gave me the lowdown on what KVI stand for, and this is stupid. Like, I don't remember this ever. This actually ruins it a little bit. Keenest value in Ireland.
Okay, but was it only in Ireland?
Yeah,
Because I thought KVI was the Quinsworth thing, not Quinsworth thing.
it's only in countries that begin with I.
Quinsworth, yeah. So it's only Quinsworth
Iceland.
or Irish. Indonesia.
Keenest value in Indonesia.
Where else can we sell our product, guys? Well, India's pretty big.
Yeah.
We got a big.
Iran has a really good market at the moment.
I heard there's a big war going on between Iran and Iraq over like prices. Crazy prices.
The crazy prices Iraq war.
It was all over KVI brand. Does it stand for Iraq or Iran?
Alright, so moving on to our usual retro motion section. This week it's a bit of a it's a bit of a random one. We're talking about games.
Today it's a bit of a...
Games. We're talking
Not the pewter ones though.
No, well, we're splitting it up. We're talking board games, maybe computer games, but also estate and road games from when you were a kid.
Street rules.
Street rules. We've all been there and we've all had our fucking fun out in the estates and the roads and all. So we'll get to that in a minute. But let's start going back to when we were young ones.
Yeah.
What have you got?
So, I was kind of scratching the head for this one at first, like
You
know,
were
I was
scratching
like-
your bollocks.
Yeah, well, obviously, but that is my head.
I make all my decisions.
So I had a good scratch in the head, like it makes me think better. So I was there. Like, I wasn't always the cool, calm, collected customer I am today, right? I wasn't always like as popular as I am now, like, and as funny as outgoing, and like,
couldn't imagine it.
all these things that people would usually list me as, like, So like I remember, and like I was laughing to myself, thinking about it, going, that's a fucking weird, kid, like, I remember one day we were in school and we just started kind of Cronin's time. And we were told that like everyone in the class could bring in a game each, and we'd all like everyone would play a different game, whatever. And then the teacher would go around asking people what was going on.
This was the last day of term, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Bring
yeah.
your own games in.
That was it.
It was an
Yeah.
exciting day.
Yeah. And like I remember going home and saying to my mum like, "Oh, we're there bring games in, stuff like that." And then my mum was going
Will
like,
you make me something?
No, yeah. Fucking anything will do. Like, no, but like this is how fucking weird. Like, so, like we had one board game in our house which was Scrabble. Okay. And like I was fucking dyslexic, but like I didn't know it at the time. So unless there was like I could only win games if you were doing 3-letter words. Like,
And all the
so, like,
tiles were upside down and all.
So like I was amazed
Sideways.
with the likes of cat and sat and bat and was a big word for me, or zap. Used to like or zup. They'd give me big fucking scores. Big
word scores,
you know. But that was about it. So then I came in with the Scrabble board, and the teacher was like going like, "Oh,
Good luck.
well done," like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everyone else is like mouse trap and fucking
Yeah.
like go for broke and Monopoly. All
Their
these.
parents were all divorced.
Yeah. So, but I'm there like bringing in Scrabble, and the teacher's like going like, "Oh, there's someone constructive and all. So let's have a go at that." So we open up the Scrabble board, and inside it is like loads of metal lead soldiers and all. So he's like going, "This isn't the Scrabble I remember. How do you play this?"
This is
I was
battle Scrabble.
I was putting the Scrabble board out, going, right, so this is how it works, right? You pick a letter out of the bag, and whatever letter you get, your soldier lands on. Like, I know. And the teacher was there going like, what the fuck's going on right now? Like, and you have to try and make your army to get to the other side before the other army gets to this side, like, and the teacher's like going, yeah, have you ever played Scrabble before? And I'm like, fuck Scrabble.
This is Frabble.
Yeah. And I remember like looking around the class, and everyone had all these big illustrious games, and, like, and I was looking on like my fucking Scrabble board.
Not even fucking real Scrabble.
I know,
either.
yeah.
Battle Scrabble.
Battle Scrabble with like fucking this one had attitude, you know what I mean? Like,
Big thing when I was a kid, my favourite thing to do was to cast my own figures.
Oh, I still have all that
So,
stuff.
as an 7, 8, 9-year-old, I was allowed to go into the kitchen and take molten fucking lead,
Yeah!
boil it until it could blind you,
Yeah.
and then carry it down to the fucking, run down to the shed, the little thing, and pour it into a cask.
Whoa, better not trip.
Fucking mental.
I still have all those molds.
Health and safety gone
fucking
mad.
love
Ah,
I tried to catch the lead one day. 'Cause
as you do.
no, but you got two little kind of clamps, one to put on each side of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
little
yeah.
rubber molds. Because they used to sell them down in the Toy Master in
ER
Bray.
sheets.
And like, it came with a little tiny kind of pan for melting the lead. And you pour it in, and I forgot to put the fucking things on, like the little clamps on. So I'm there at the side, and like I'm pouring it in, and all the lead's going in, and it looks like molten silver, like it's so lovely to look at. And then I just see all the lead squirting out the bottom. That's all over my mum's new kind of fucking countertop.
Just like
It
when you're
starts-
stabbing cans,
But
basically.
yeah, but it started going off, and like, fuck, my mum and dad had lino at the time. Like, who the fuck ever wanted lino? They'd
My
lino.
parents too.
So instead of letting it hit the ground, I put my hand under the stuff to stop the lead from hitting the ground.
Just the precious lineup.
Like the precious lino, yeah. It wasn't just a Thundercats name. So like, I put my hands under it and let the stuff pool in my hands. And like, fuck, I was burned to a crisp, like, you know, from catching lead.
Well, I mean, it would have helped you in later years when you toasted your own arm.
No one was let eat the arm for fear of lead poisoning. But yeah, I used to cast them. I remember one time, right, that's funny. I got, there was orcs and whatever.
Yes.
And I spent forever.
Yes.
And I robbed fucking lead off my mum and dad's roof and everything I did to fucking melt because I got so obsessed with it. And someone had like old gas piping and
Do you need that roof, do you? Nah.
so it was like, and my dad used to do fishing and he used to rob all his lead weights and all that sort of stuff. We'd be melting them all down. Fucking, and then he'd come along and go, where's all my lead gone? Like, oh, no, like, and I had a table just full of
And
this.
hands full of
But tables full of like all these little lead soldiers. And like, you probably got poisoned to bits off the stuff I was using.
It probably explains a lot about
No, it took loads of precautions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, making sure I didn't ruin the lino.
The precious line. Line. Oh, snarf. But yeah, like board games back in the day, like, I mean, MB, I think, were the most, you know, like, they're the ones, you know, you used to have the ads and they make them look fucking unbelievable on the telly. You'd be kind of going, these are the most desirable board games on fucking the planet.
Key
right
to
now.
the kingdom,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff.
Mousetrap was, like, these are all, like, because we were paupers, we didn't have any of this, but that day that everyone brought in.
The one day a year where someone
Or-
else would show you their game.
Or if you hung around with lads whose parents were divorced, you know, whatever. It was, you used to play this stuff. But Mousetrap, most elaborate fucking, like, for those, I think Mousetrap's out still at the moment.
Yeah.
But if you've never heard of it, it's basically this board game where, I don't know what,
I'm
what
still
you,
not sure.
yeah, I don't know what you had to do around her to
Yeah.
get, but basically at some stage you had to set off the whole fucking Mousetrap, and everything was connected, and
Diver dives into a bath.
yeah, and then like
And then-
it clips off something that rolls down a
Yeah.
ball and fucking, but everything had to be working perfectly, and invariably one item or one link was probably more than one link was not fucking working properly. So the thing just didn't
Never actually
Never
done what it was
actually-
meant to do.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Buckaroo.
but like it was like you're playing the game going, this is so boring. I just want to fucking do the Mousetrap thing. So you just basically just had it so you could set off the Mousetrap. I mean, it wasn't really a game.
I don't think I ever actually played the game properly.
Exactly. I never did anyway.
It was like, because remember, like, they used to have down there, like, my granddad's house, and it was there for all the kids to play. I remember setting it all up and then just fucking letting your man fucking
Yeah.
dive into the bath and I started going, I actually don't know what we're meant to be doing here. Like, you know, like,
Did you not take out the Connell rule
like,
book?
well, I made the rules. Like, you roll a dice and
There was Hungry Hippos as well.
Yeah, that
But
was
that's
good.
still going as well. But it wasn't even a game. It was just fucking random chance. You basically 4 lads around a fucking circular board full of these little white balls, and hippos.
But they did
were,
not teach you for later on in life, because the quicker you can do that, the quicker you get, the more balls you get. So when you're doing fucking soggy biscuit,
when you're wanking.
when you were soggy biscuit when you were older, sitting around with 4 lads, did you not say like, God, I'm glad I was really good at Hungry Hippos?
I never would have connected soggy biscuit.
That's where it came from, apparently.
Oh, okay. Literally.
Someone was like going, if only I'd been known about this when I was younger.
It's like, anyone fancy a game of soggy biscuit? Oh no, careful of him. He's the Hungry Hippos world champion. I ain't playing with you, mate.
Look at the size of his forearm.
He's a soggy biscuit hustler. He goes around all the pubs. He's like, anyone fancy a game of soggy biscuit? How much money you got? Operation. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah.
We had to play that with all fake pieces because we got given it second hand off somebody else, but we only got like 3 pieces. And we didn't even know. There was one that was like years later. I only found out it was meant to be a rubber band because we didn't know what the fuck was meant to be in that one. But we had to like just stick. There was like hair clips and all in our ones.
Bits of lead.
Yeah. Lino.
Burnt lino. But the poor lad, he had like a toaster in his chest and all, like, he had all sorts of fucking random stuff, like.
Yeah. And he was happy the whole time.
He had a spanner in his foot. I mean, what the fuck was he doing?
He'd obviously gone to a few Irish hospitals for a few jobs, and it was kind of like the phone call a few weeks later going, we're missing half our mechanical equipment.
And do you remember Guess Who, right? Like, Guess Who, I mean, nowadays, it's probably called Guess the Fuck, what the fuck, like, because, I mean, you're so, like, you can't offend anyone anymore, you know?
Oh, I know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
you can't put a bald guy.
Yeah, you can't go, like, they can't have any.
Well, it's, you want to say, like,
It's just be,
imagine
guess which bland person it is.
Yeah, because you'd be looking at it going, I want to say he's a colour, but I don't know how to say that colour anymore because I'm not sure what you see at the moment.
Yeah.
Is he African American? Well, actually, that's technically incorrect these days because they're not actually from Africa anymore. Oh my god, I don't know!
Exactly how I meant.
Yeah.
It's like charades or something. Like, you know.
Is he that shape?
Does he look like me?
Yeah.
Alright, so road estate games and things like that.
Yeah.
What have you got?
Yeah, so when we started off playing games out in the street and stuff like that, so everyone done the usual kind of kiss chase and stuff.
So this is when you stopped playing nerd games in your gap and you went out in the street and started
No,
playing.
so I was a nerd in the gaff.
Oh, right.
Then out in the street, I was a different person.
So you're like, it's your alter ego, you're a superhero.
Yeah. So I get out to the street, and then all of a sudden, then like, I used to be like a fucking dick playing some of those games. Like I remember playing. Did you ever play? Fucking, what was it? Not Bulldog. There was some
British Bulldog.
British Bulldog. Wait, no, well, that's the one we have.
Red Rover.
Yeah, we had to run
British
across.
Bulldog.
Yeah, to run across the road.
For those, like, we have to explain all these because there's probably people going, "What the fuck are they talking about?" not for the first time. But British Bulldog and I think Red Rover were similar enough. We'd have 2 teams. Would that be right? Or was it?
Yeah, or one person could be on, and everyone had to run at them. And if you caught one person, they were with you.
Oh yeah.
Red Rover.
Yeah.
I call.
Over,
Yeah.
And you have to run and break through their.
Yeah, you linked with the arms, yeah. And if you could break through the link, you're okay. But if you couldn't break through, you had to join them.
Yes.
That right, yeah.
I remember like fucking the amount of people I fucked up playing that game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you're talking clotheslines and everything. I remember even one girl across the road, like, and it was really one of those things where you know when you really fancy someone, but you don't ever want to know them to know. She got through, and I turned around and let go of her, and I ran after her and pushed her as hard as I could.
That'll make her love me.
Pretty much in the between the shoulders and the neck, so that her 2 legs literally flew up behind me, like, and she face planted into the ground, like, you know, and like just came to like a stop before hitting the curb, you know, that kind of way. And then I was there going, "You're on with us now." Like,
hello, shaking her. Are you alive?
And I was there going like. It's so stupid. Why are you so fucking competitive playing like street games, especially with like girls and all, like, you know? Because like, was it Tip the Can?
Tip the Can was an epic game of estate. Like, anyone who lived in a state, Tip the Can was like fucking Warzone stuff. It was brilliant. And to explain how that works is one person's on, and they basically surround them, or they kind of base themselves in something that they call a can, but it could be
It's usually a light post.
lamppost,
Lamppost.
or a lamppost,
Like
or
a can.
an electricity box.
Yeah.
You know those little,
Yeah.
which is pretty close to a fucking can, you know, can of electricity. But so they basically cover their face and count to whatever 10 or 20, and everyone else had to fucking leg it and hide. And then when they'd finished counting, it was the person's job who had been counting to identify where, who they can see,
Yeah, and if they were there, like, so basically, if they were behind the car in fucking Mr. Maguire's house, you'd walk up, you'd see them, you'd have to notice them, so you'd run back to the can, go, tip the can. I see fucking Anto beside Mr. whatever his name is, fucking.
But everyone else's objective in the game was to tip the can
before you could get
before
there
you could
before
get
them.
back.
Yeah.
So it was pretty high stakes stuff.
But the amount of times where you actually did collide with people and stuff, because they'd be run, you'd see them, and it was like you just had to get to the can before them. So sometimes it's easier to take them out rather than.
But like you'd be hiding in places, and you'd feel like you know those lads who paint themselves. You'd be standing there kind of going, "I am invisible.
I am one.
I am one with the wall."
I think boys are like that. They're fucking so competitive.
Yeah. Plus, they all think that what they're seeing in their heads is like a movie. You know?
It's a complete movie. Like, young lads are just ridiculous for being competitive. I mean, crying if they lost the game. Literally crying.
Yeah.
It was like, there was like, or when you're racing on the road, do you remember just having games of racing? And it was almost like, so what are you up to? You know, do you want to race? Like, you know, and then we were like going like, and no one thought this was weird. That like you just met these people and you go, hey, do you want to have a race? I have to go in and get my fast runners. It's like, just going in to put on my fast runners. I'll be back in a minute. Like, but like, remember you used to think that runners made you faster and stuff. Like, you know, like literally going, just got new runners, lads. Can't wait to go home and race. I
saw the ad. The scientist said they're going to make me faster.
The lad across the road told me one time. He goes, if you say booster power on, you can actually run faster. I was like, are you serious? And he goes, yeah. So then I've done it, and I was there going like, holy fuck. If you say booster power on, you fucking run faster. Like, you know. So then, so then was there going like, I'm so gonna race all those lads that I lost against again.
That's like my dad used to go when we were young and we used to be in the car and he'd go when he was overtaking someone or you know hitting a fucking lower gear to get that boost. He'd go, I'll put it into super pursuit mode. You know, but I was so taken. I couldn't say those words. So it was like soup to soup mode. I used to call
soup to soup mode.
So I was like, put in soup to soup mode. And he was literally just going down the gear and going, you are fucking hell, yeah, woo, what a boost.
No wonder you're obsessed with soup.
Waffle soup.
I do that with my kids now as well, and they actually think it's happening. Like, you know, I'll be there going like, someone like, you know, someone shout, you know, hey Blaze, give me some speed, like, you know, and I hear it. Sometimes I'm driving along and we're stuck in traffic and you hear the young lad in the back going, Blaze, give me some speed. And I'm like, oh fuck, now I can't go anywhere. Like,
you just do it and he's coming to the back of it.
One of the guys came in one day and he goes, hey guys, did you ever play a game called Space Monkeys? And we're like going, what the fuck is Space Monkeys?
Like Soggy Biscuit.
Pretty much, right? So you get down, right? You honker down, because remember it was the first time I've ever heard the word honker. And there's a guy called Alan McDonough comes in and he goes, what you do is you honker down. So basically you get down, you squat, and you get as low as you can, and you keep bouncing and you breathe as fast and as heavy as you can. So you go for 30 seconds. Then you stand up against, there was like a metal fence that used to go through the split in the playgrounds in Cronus. And you stand up against it as tall as you can, right? And look up, and another guy comes up and pushes against your neck. So he'd push in against your neck and fucking basically he'd slow down your pulse or whatever. And you just black out. Yes. And we'd be all on the ground. It's like, and then you get up and lads were there going, oh my god, like, like that's unbelievable. And like people used to see shit and stuff, and they're like, I'd say you're probably that close to death. Like you were literally in.
I saw the light. It was telling me.
And I remember like years ago saying to someone like, what was that? And they're like, oh, you're shutting off the oxygen to your brain. So like the thing was, so and we'd be playing this because we fuck all else to play. Oh, we'd be on the ground for ages, and there'd be loads of us. Oh, and the teacher, because there used to be a teacher that would walk around every day, like, and just make sure no one's messing or give out to young lads.
Or making lads unconscious.
But they'd walk around and like, those lads seem quiet enough.
They're actually very quiet.
But like, how nobody died? Because like we'd be doing it for the full half-hour lunch.
Paper fortune teller thing.
Oh yeah,
yes.
BLUE.
Yeah.
Spells. But then you can fudge it as well.
Yeah, but I never knew how to. Like, it was basically a piece of paper folded into origami, and you held it with two hands, and it turned into almost like, it looked like a duck's mouth or something. The way you open it up and close it, but whatever way you chose the numbers or the letters or the colours that were on it, that's how it randomly opened or whatever, and it revealed something about you.
Someone would ask you, you'd be holding it, and they'd ask you favourite colour, and you'd have to spell out blue, so B-L-U-E, and you'd have to move it 4 times.
But
that's
then
where you'd land on it.
If you were good enough at it, you kind of realised where it was going to land, because you always want to land on like something shit for some dick. Like, so you'd be there going, like, you go, B-L-U-E, spells blue.
Oh, I'm in your fucking
yeah. Let me unfold this. You're gonna marry a grot in a garage, wearing a pair of underpants on your head.
Oh my god, that's my future. How did they know? But like, it was like basically when you were that age, though, when you were looking at this thing, it was like what's that thing that opens in Hellraiser, that opens the gate to hell. That's what it was like. You're looking at it going, this thing is fucking serious, lad. It's a serious shit.
It knows the future.
Obviously, curbs was probably the greatest sport that never made the Olympics. I'm pretty sure I could represent Ireland at curb. I was fucking lethal at it. It's probably the only sport I was ever confidently good at, you know?
The problem was as well, like, if you lived on a hill, because the fucking the amount of running up and down a hill to get the ball back, like, you know, it'd be a fucking pain in the hoop. And then like that as well, everyone had fucking different rules. They come in from somewhere else, like, because our one used to be, you throw from one side of the road to the other. If you hit the curb and it comes back to your side, you get 2 points. Then you get to stand in the middle. And if everyone after that's worth 1. But we were like fucking legends. Once you got into the middle, it was game over.
And if they caught it when you're in the middle and they threw it and hit your back.
Yeah. But that was like, but then other lads would be like going like, so what are we playing for? 50. Cool. So it's
50p?
They're like, no, 50 points.
Oh.
And we'd be like, oh, cool. They'd be like, so it's 10 to hit the curb. 10? Where are you going with 10? It's 2 to hit the curb. Like, you know, they're like, oh.
What are you, American?
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's 10. And then when you get into the middle, you get 5. And it's like, oh, no. It's like, come on. Like, so because they didn't realise how good we were. You know, like, so
the 5 was if you threw it and it hit the curb and came flying back in the air to you if you caught it.
That's like game over. Like,
you were fucking.
That was like you basically you completed the game kind of thing.
Could we do that though? Could we do like a tournament of curb sometime? And it doesn't even have to be on a road. We not do like a tarmac area, right? And just bring some curb with us. Put it out.
Do you have any curb on you there?
Absolute curb.
You can buy curb.
You can buy curb.
Yeah, well, hold on. Where did the curb comes from?
Yeah, but just go to one of your ma's estates.
I know, but you kind of look a bit soft. 40 years of age.
Otherwise, we'd look totally normal.
Like, go somewhere.
We look so normal walking around with a slab of curb over the shoulder.
Well, guys, that's what I'm saying. If you aren't hardcore, you know what I mean?
Hard curb.
Parkour. So
the only other thing I would say, it's not really a game. Well, it became a game.
Tummy sticks.
It's a soggy biscuit. No, knickknacks.
Oh, knickknacks. Yeah.
I mean, knickknacks around, especially because we grew up, the state I grew up in was right beside his one. And, you know, they were perfect for fucking knickknacking because there was all sorts of escape routes. I remember I drew up a map of the area and we used to plan them out like we were bank robbers or something. The map was fucking so intricate and detailed and all, and like you'd knick-knack a few lads in your estate, whatever, you know, you get the crack, you get a bit of laugh or whatever, but they weren't the same.
Yeah, no, there was some
the big one. What we called it the big cheese. It was there was like a Loretto convent in the grounds beside us, and they had the main building where the nuns lived was the fucking that was the big cheese, we called it. Doing a knick-knack on that
up onto the well, the problem with it was there was so much open territory you had to run across first.
It was a massive challenge, like, but that was the joy of it. But if you got away, and if you were good enough of a sprinter, if you did it in the dark, you could dive into a bush because there was like lads who used to work at night to do like
they'd come
not
out looking
security.
for you.
Oh yeah, but this was the brilliant.
yeah.
This was the thrill of it.
Yeah.
And that's why it was the big cheese, because you do a knick-knack on some lad in your state, you just go and go, who fucking did that, you know, and he'd go back into his house. These lads were like hunting you like with fucking in your head they had guns and all.
There's times where you were worried for your life, like, you know what I mean? Like, they called you and like they were like going, you coming out to play? And like, yeah. I'd be like, nice. And we're going to do knickknacks on the nuns. Like, nice and brilliant, happy days. But then there'd be other days where lads would be there going like, we're going like, because there was other lads that were just fucking like, because like you say, you'd ring on people's doorbells. And you could literally hide behind their wall, and you just hear going, little bastards, like, you know, and you close it and go, and then you'd go out.
That was the trail. Me and you probably were like, that's all I need.
That's
you know?
that's it. I'm done. Like, no, but then there used to be a guy called Deadman, right? And he used to ring his doorbell, and he'd open the door, and he'd come out, and he'd be all waiting on the end of the road, like, you know, thinking that, like, you know, it was all over, done and dusted, and then you'd see this guy walking towards us. And he'd have a crutch and a bag full of his plastic bags.
Yeah, and he was dead.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, right, he was obviously like, he was mental health and all. Obviously, we didn't know that at the time. But all we knew was that if you rang everybody else's door, they'd come and come out and shed abuse at you, but they'd never come past the front door. Yeah. This guy would come out the front door. He'd chase you all the way down the main road, all the way down to the town. Yeah. And it was like the Terminator following you. He would follow you all the way around Bray. And it was like, at some stage, was there going like, guys, I have to go home soon. Like, what are we going to do? Like, because like, we're going to have to...
Put in your head all yours.
Yeah. But he was like, and he literally would. And then, like, you'd think... Okay, is he gone? Yeah, he's gone.
He has to kill you because your son in future years is going to be headed.
But he used to call two lads. I remember one time there was two guys he used to do it all the time to him, and he'd get to know their names, like, or get to know their faces. When he used to call one of them, "Here, helmet head and funny faces," like, you know. And it was just,
that's just making it like fueling you to
do
more.
But then lads used to tell you stories and all, then going, "Do you know how mad he is?" And he'd be like, "How's he mad?" And they'd be like, "Well, apparently because he used to go around and check all the tax on people's cars and stuff like that, like, and fucking." Then he'd be banging their cars with. He'd start banging their cars with the crutch. Fuck. But he was in Tesco apparently one time, Quinsworth at the time, I think it was, and he didn't like the price of something. He started arguing with someone at the cash register. And now this could be a complete lie, but I'm gonna say this is gospel truth, right? And he pulled an axe out.
Coat of paint.
He pulled an axe out, right, on the girl at the checkout because they were arguing about the price of something, like, you know, and he wasn't even buying the axe, like, you know what I mean?
The price of this axe is ridiculous.
And everyone was telling us that was a true story, 100% true story, and I think it could have been a true story because I remember then people were like, on, he was put into a mental hospital like for 5 years. Then after
it sounds like a Freddy Krueger sort of origin story.
If you saw his house, the house was in bits because I used to feel sorry for the people who lived beside him because they'd have lovely, immaculate little bungalows, and his one was there, right? And it was just loads of broken windows. So obviously he was picked on by people, but he just plugged the holes then with plastic bags, like. You know, so obviously that's why the bag of plastic bags was for. But he would literally, like, there was days where like he'd follow you around, right? You'd think he was gone, and he'd all be sitting on the road. And next thing, he'd just appear out of somewhere, and we'd all be like, "Oh my god, how did he know we were here?" And we'd be all running, going, "I can't believe!" Like, you'd be waking up in your room at night, going,
time to be chased.
Yeah, because lightning strikes at night, and it's just like a guy with a crutch and bags.
Dead man, can we reschedule this?
But I was like, yeah. But you would actually have nightmares about the guy, because he was so relentless in the pursuit of catching.
The embarrassment, and even when you're doing knickknacks and you get caught. The fucking shame and the fucking embarrassment and all, and you're like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I mean, as if you'd fucking shot someone. Like, you just called to the door and ran away. Like,
I thought it would be funny. It's like, now I realise the error in my way.
you go home and look at yourself in the mirror and think about what you did. Yeah. Okay, I will. I gotta go home. And you're there at home looking in the mirror going, why did you do that, knick-knacking?
Such an idiot.
Really? Yeah. A family on our estate went on holiday or something, and these two lads in my estate were just like that, brazen as fuck, didn't give a bollocks. They were like, "Oh, we're just gonna hang around in their backyard for the week they're away." And I'm there going, lads, I really I don't know about this. Like, I mean, what if the neighbours see? Like, what if they come back early and all this? You know, and they're like, don't give a fuck. And they were like sitting in the backyard, like every day, like hanging out and all. And I was like sitting there, like real, like, yeah, brilliant. This is great crack. Always looking over your back, kind of going, who'll be looking? Like, what if they come back early? And the way their garden was, it was real down. Like, there was no escape. Like, and if they came back, the first thing they'd see is you know.
Yeah.
And they were fucking scary people, these people. So I was just the whole time like, oh fuck, maybe we should. There's a great spot in Loretto if anyone's interested. And no, we'll just hang on here. It's grand, you know. Fucking, this is great here.
It
Yeah.
was the thrill.
Yeah.
The thrill.
like,
The thrill of the chase.
oh yeah, the chase. Yeah.
The chase off
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
You'd
That
shit
the
yourself
adrenaline.
before you did it.
Yeah.
Like the chase, like
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But like even doing a knick-knack, because you'd wind each other up so much that it's like, because everyone had like, and you'd all dare somebody to do it.
Yeah.
And they had to do it, and then it'd be like, I'll do it if you come up to the door with me.
Yeah.
And then they'd be there going like, okay, 3, 2. No, you do it. No, 3, 2. Come on, 2's do it together. No. And as soon as you heard that, ding, no, fuck, and everyone just legs it like,
But you know when you're running and laughing at the same time. It's
so much fun.
But like you see him running fast and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, am I slowing down? Oh my god, I'm gonna get caught.
But the thing is, the chances are, like, especially in our states, it was like an L ladder and L one that you were ringing the doorbell.
Exactly.
But
and
you
all
had
they
this
did was open the door and go
behind you. He could have been that close behind you. That's why you felt as
Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck, run.
That was us watching 80s horror films.
I know, yeah. Fucking hell. I remember I got caught one time. And because I didn't know what had fucking happened. See, like, we were sitting out and there was a gang of us. We were up in your estate, actually, up in Lord Grange.
Posh estate.
And
B4.
that's what it was. So we were sitting there and we were chatting on the road, and next to it, 3 lads came running around the corner, and one of the lads just goes like, "Why the fuck are you running?" They were like, "Going run!" So like they're going like, "What the fuck's wrong with them?" And next to it,
It's infectious.
but we see like one of your neighbours, but he came around in a fucking shell tracksuit, like, you know, and I just saw him and I was there going, "Oh, balls!"
I think he was a cop.
That's he was, yeah.
And not just a cop, like one of these undercover, like fucking proper trained cops, like.
But he comes running around the corner in a fucking shell tracksuit, right? So of course, then when someone's running towards you, and other people just told you to run,
Yeah, exactly.
your initial reaction is to get up and try and run.
Like you have to make that decision in a split second. It's like, right, I can either run away from this that I have nothing to do with, or I can stay here and take the risk that he's gonna come direct at me and go, "You're obviously involved in this." What the fuck?
But like, so all of us got up and started scarping, and we had nothing to do with the lads that just fucking ran past us, like, you know. So then there was a laneway that used to connect Seacrest, and I was running down there, and I thought he was gone at this stage. And I slowed down, and as I turned around, I just felt this arm just grab me, but he fucking lashed me up against the wall.
Cop,
And he starts going fucking nuts at me, like, and then at that stage, I'm trying to explain to him, I don't even know what's going on. I have nothing to do with this, like, you know. But he was there going, and you can tell your dickhead friends this, and you can tell your dickhead friends that.
Pass the
And
message
he's there,
on.
where do you even live? And I'm there going, I live down in Seacrest, like, you know. And he's there going, right, bring me to your house, bring me to where your mum and dad. They're gonna, like, and I'm there going like, but I have nothing to do there, like, you know. So then I changed my mind. I live in Wolftown, like, you know. And
did I say Seacrest? I mean,
but he starts marching me off towards Wolftown, and we're up on the Vivi, and then I'm there going like, actually, I told you lie, I do live in
I'm
Seacrest.
fucking taking it to the extreme.
I
of
know.
where it's-
how far would you have gone with that? Like,
I would have done.
Breakdowns.
Yeah, it would have.
oh yeah, Wolftown, yeah, number 8. Oh, here's number 8. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, just walk up the driveway, you know.
But we're walking back down towards Seacrest, right? And we're walking down towards that gap again, and the lads, like my mates now at this stage, fucking spot your man with me, and they all fucking start shouting, "You fucking fat bastard!" Like,
At you? Or
and legging it. And of course, then I'm there going like, "You fucking pricks! Tell me to fucking throw me under the bus!" Like, no. And like, I was there, I don't know them. And then, like, but then they start shouting out things like, "If you molest him, we'll all know." Like, you big dirty child molester. You like all this sort of stuff. Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh no!" So then I was there going like, what do I do? Like, this lad's gonna fucking kill me now in a minute. Like, you know, just burst me. And then, like, then by the end of it, like, he just got where he just thought, oh fuck, maybe I've overreacted a little bit here, like, you know, because I was actually being pretty nice, like, you know. Just,
We don't have one of the wish this week. We have
deals.
Okay.
I'm bringing deals into
Deals
it.
it is.
So deals sent me on something. I was like, this actually looks all right. So I decided to. I've made an
That
investment.
sentence usually ends in.
But it wasn't.
What I have here, Baz, right,
Okay. I'm excited.
is a beard straightener.
Oh, you're braver than me. You're braver than me.
Like, so I'm gonna let this thing near my face.
You want me to plug it in?
I gotta where you got to plug beside you, or do you want to plug it beside me? It's meant to have, right? So it's got like a ceramic plate inside it. It's fucking heating up. Good out.
Ceramic.
Right, let's leave that heat up for a few seconds, right? And let's.
When you see a fire, that's when you know it's ready.
It's good to put on your beard. So I'm just gonna add some extra moisture to the beard so that in case it goes
Some
wrong.
alcohol. The alcohol doesn't set fire, does it?
Not that I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Okay, it's heat now. Alright, so my beard is fairly messy at the moment. Oh my god, you can feel the heat off it.
Yeah.
There's some proper heat coming out of this thing. Is
The
it?
noise.
Yeah.
I can smell burning. Is there anything burning? I can smell. Is there stuff singeing? Is there?
Not that I can see. Like, I mean,
It actually feels quite nice though. It's kind of. It's like the heat off. It's nice, but it's not too bad. Is it straightening?
that's because I'm wanking you off right now.
Does it look?
do your moustache as well.
I'm afraid to burn the lip off myself. Plus, there's fucking loads of Guinness in my fucking.
Yes.
That's why I made him do it.
I heard a few singeing sides there. But is it straightening at all? Like, so I'll only do one side, right?
It's hard to know. Like, I mean, your beard is sort of like, it was straight enough as it was. There's a bit of curl at the bottom there.
Right, so let's. Should I be pushing it with my fingers into it? It's hard to do when you can't see your own face.
I just want to chop your beard off.
Does it look straight? Does it done it? Is it straight in my
You
beard?
tell me. You're looking at it.
You tell me. You're fucking watching me. Does it look any straighter?
No.
Does it look any neater?
No.
It's fucking useless. The light doesn't even work.
Is there, when you looked up on Wish, what was the pictures like?
So there's guys there with like fucking the messiest beards in the world, and then by the end of it, it's like fucking the straightest thing. Like they could have been carved from metal. You know, that kind of like where it's like,
From lead.
yeah. But like, I don't know if it's a good sign or not when the light, the safety light doesn't work.
I'm gonna say safety is out the window with anything you order off Wish, especially if it has some sort of heat element to it.
I can hear singeing. I don't. But I don't know if it's the Guinness or if it's like.
We won't look, but try it on your pubes.
You can do my back there as well.
his pubes are just straight. Fucking. So are we saying you actually got something good?
Yeah, like there's obviously pros and cons, which I don't know if you should be able to say that about.
Is it worth
probably
putting
gonna
your
put
nails
that-
down for? Like,
No, but like or your face, like because if you're putting something that close to your face,
how
like,
much do you love your house or your face?
yeah, it's like
If
so
you don't really like them that much,
pros, it kind of straightens your beard. Cons, the safety switch doesn't work. The thing's obviously way too hot than it's meant to be. Burns your face, burns your house. But it was only fucking €7.
okay.
I'm good. What are we moving on to? Let's
Big
do
debate.
this.
Big debate. Man.
Big debate. Go on. Hit me.
Here's one for you. What was the best? Like, okay, before I say this, I know nowadays this kind of shit wouldn't happen because it's a lot fucking things have run better. But we went to a shit school, alright, and we were young and stupid. But what was the best way to wreck a teacher's head back in the day?
Right.
So I mean, okay, there was the horrible stuff. I remember, like, this is disgusting. There was one thing that lads used to do that even at the time I was kind of going, this isn't right, lads, this is fucking disgusting. A teacher walk up and down the aisle and they get spit on a ruler and flick it onto his back.
Snot hoggers.
And literally, like, they make sure they're like,
What was it? There was a name for that. It was like a gobby or something, wasn't it? Or fucking...
and then they get whatever colour, like a luminous yellow and green, on the end of a ruler and catapult it onto the teacher's back.
Man, scumbag.
Scumbags. And by the end of the class, his back was literally
just covered in
covered in
phlegm.
spit.
And we had got those porno fucking playing cards, right? And we blue tacked about 4 or 5 into the blackboards. But he came in and pretended that he didn't even see them because he was so like, as in, I'm gonna show these guys that they're.
Ignored him.
So we're all there going like, oh, sir, there's something on the board. And he goes, you don't care. It doesn't matter what's on the board. You just take down in your copybooks what I'm writing down. Yeah. So next thing, all you heard was like, as he's writing, it's like 10 plus, and I heard, and it was like a big paper ball of spit just hits the fucking blackboard behind him, like, you know. And he still didn't react. Yeah. So then other people that never would have done it before are fucking, even like the little nerdy lads are getting in on this, and everyone's like fucking deconstructing their pen and then chewing half their copybook up and just going. And by the end of it, the whole board was just covered in these little fucking spitballs. Yeah. And his shape was pretty much in the board, and the 2 porno stickers were still there, and he was still writing away. And we're there going like, you're not winning any battles here. Like, you're not winning any battles. Because remember, like, there's one guy, remember Mr. Dignan? And
the nicest man you could ever meet.
Yeah, exactly.
The knife was held against.
That was it.
He used to give you good notes.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the guys got a bad note off him one day. And
he must have murdered someone.
Yeah, well, pretty much he said to him like, "Going, I just can't deal with this anymore." And your man who got the note then just goes, "Oh, I'm gonna get in big trouble off my ma when I go home." And he goes like, "I'm sorry, like you've had all your chances and they're just gone." So then your man stands up and goes, "Right, that's it, sir. I want to fight you at the school gate. I want to fight you at the school gates after school." And the teacher's there going like, I'm a teacher, you can't do that. And he goes, "No, that's it. Like, you know, I'm fighting you after school. You better be at the school gates after school." Like, you know. And everyone in the class is just like going, "Is this actually happening?" Like, and the teacher, but he nearly starts crying because he's trying to talk this guy down, and this guy's going like, "No, fuck it, I'm sick of this shit. Like, fuck it, my ma will kill me. So fuck it, that's it. Like, if you're gonna give me a no, then I'm fighting you out the back." Like,
After school. That's fucking brilliant.
They're in the class going like, what's going on here? Because there's other teachers that just would have walked down and walloped your man, like, you know.
Fucking right.
Because I would never have spat on a teacher or done any of that fucking horrible stuff. Like, the worst we did, like, I mean, I was innocent enough, but it was still quite effective to wreck their heads, and that's the whole debate. You do something like, remember that song? Oh. Yeah. So basically, he'd have his back turned, he'd be writing shit in the board, and he'd go, one person would take the other person would go, ow, but it would have to be other side of the classroom.
Yeah.
So he'd be listening going, what the fuck? Like, it's surround sound. He doesn't know where it's coming from, so he can't give out to anyone, you know. He's like, oh yeah. You know?
Well, like, the stuff they must put up with nowadays, right? Because I was thinking, like, I used to have a watch, and when you pressed it, it would go like, it is 9:42 a.m. Like, you know. So we'd pass it round, and everyone would have it underneath their desk and press it underneath the desk, and like fucking the teacher would be going around like, "Who has that bloody watch?" Like, you know. But like that was, we still had to pass it round. So like during the class, as soon as the teacher turned, because he'd know, he'd be like, "Oh, I know it's down here. I know it's one of you three down here. Have it." And then he'd go up, and as soon as he turned his back, one of the lads would fuck it to the other side of the room, and lads would catch it and like they're like going like, and the teacher would be like, "Whoa, what just happened there?" Like, you know. And then he got to write something on the board, and I heard, "It is 9:57." Like, oh, what the fuck? Like, because we used to do Wales for some reason. I don't know why. Because we'd be all there and be like, and then somebody at the other side would go, like, and they'd be like, the teacher would turn around and go, "What the hell's wrong with you people?" And then he turns back in, and someone like, even one like someone that everyone realised they could do it then. So he hears, like, you know,
they get more elaborate.
Yeah. And then I remember one day, one of the lads just goes like, and we all, the whole class broke out laughing. And it was just like, oh, like, fuck's sake. Because like that, when you were saying about like the spit and all that as well. I remember one lad that did like he was smoking at the back of the class into his bag. So, but he thought, like, you know, how the teacher realised that smoking into his bag.
Smoke in the bag, yeah.
But he's down and he's like, and then he looks up and the teacher's standing over him, and he's holding a cigarette in his hand, and the teacher smacks his bag and this cloud of smoke comes out. It's just like, God, why? How did you think you were going to get away with that? Like, of all the things that you could have done, smoking in the class. Because the saying, I remember, like, we used to be fucking dicks because what we do is, some days the teacher come in, if it was a certain teacher, we'd all turn our desks around the other way.
Yeah.
And so the blackboard was behind us. And we'd tell the teacher, no, that's the way the room was when we came in. And the teacher would be like, going like, well, I can't write in the window, can I? So you're all going to have to turn around. But like, we'd be making it all real awkward by like, oh, how are we meant to turn these desks around? Obviously the cleaner or something left them this way, sir. And he'd be there going like, well, turn it around because like the fucking blackboard's here. So I'm going to give you all like 10 seconds to turn your desks around. So we'd all get up and we'd all start walloping each other with the desks and all. And lads would be dropping on the ground going, oh, my leg! Like, and it just turned into carnage.
You were such arseholes.
It's just carnage. And the teacher would be like, oh, will you turn their fucking, you know, and you could see him going red in the face. And there'd be lads then like getting stuck, like as if they were like in Austin Powers where they couldn't turn their desk now because they were stuck between two other desks. And like everyone would be blaming everyone, like, you know. But there was one day, it was really funny. It was probably one of the funniest pranks I've ever seen pulled in my life, where 4 of the lads around this, like, I wouldn't say we bullied the guy, but we bullied the guy. Right? But like, so 4 guys were around him and they all turned their fucking desks backwards. And they said to this guy, here, turn your desk backwards. And he was like, no, I'm not turning the desk backwards. And they're like, how are you desk backwards? Like, the teacher's clearly going to know that it's us 4 that are messing if you don't do it as well, because we're all in the same area. So he was there going like, no, and they were like, oh, come on, like, cause like it'll be funny. We'll just say the cleaner's done it again. So he was there like, okay. So he turned it round. And then as soon as he turned it around, 2 of the lads held his desk with their feet, right? And they all turned their tables back around. So when the teacher came in, he was the only person in the whole class the wrong way around. And then the teacher was there going like, what the hell are you doing? And he was there going like, oh, it was like, I done it. He goes, it wasn't me, the other lads done it too. And he goes, what are you talking about? Their seats are all in the right position. And they were like, did they move your desk? And he goes, no. So did you move your own desk? Yes. Well then, what are you talking about? Like,
probably the smartest thing those lads will ever do.
I was there going, that is fucking genius, like, you know. But it was so funny, like the things.
There was nothing better than a fart as well. Just to like either just to fucking have a laugh a bit, but to break a teacher's head as well.
Guys, I used to be able to fart like on demand, but also just non-stop.
Yeah, but I had it was a lad in my class and he could fart and he had this thing. It used to bounce off the wooden chair, and he could nearly suck it up. And go, and he'd blow it at you, and it'd get you about 10 foot away. He was fucking rotten, it was.
Sucking in around fart is fine. Like, do you remember that story you were telling me?
Flemmo. And then outside the beer garden one day, right? And Flemmo had been rotten for ages, like, you know. But I was drinking Guinness as well. But you know when you know your own aroma, you know like, especially if you've been farting all day. So I was letting these ones, and they were making my own eyes water, like, you know. So I was there, right? And we all went down. And I let one fucking rip, and I could smell it coming up, and like that I was there going, oh fuck, I better not say it because the lads are about to give out to me. And then someone turns around and goes like, oh lads, but Flemmo just done like a little, like, you know, and he goes like, oh, can anyone smell that? And they were like going like, that's fucking rotten, who the fuck done that? So then Flemmo starts going, oh yeah lads, oh suck it in, get that into your lungs, that shit's good, like, you know. And I'm standing there going like, fuck, that's my fucking fart. He's literally sucking in my fumes there now. So then I turn around to him and I was there going, Flemmo, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's your one you're sucking in there at all. I've been letting really fucking stinky ones all day. And he was there going, now that I think about it, it didn't smell like one of mine. But he starts going like, yeah, but that's exactly, he starts going like, it's fucking disgusting, Colin. That's fucking disgusting. Oh, fuck. Like, it's there.
Oh, God.
It was so funny because the way, the faces that he was putting, he was like, oh, get those aromas in, boys. Like, I was like, oh no, they're my poo particles.
So getting back to the debate, I mean, you had your classics, shining the watch in the fucking team's face. Absolutely brilliant. Like, it's the simple ones are always the best.
Yeah.
But I mean, what was the best way to wreck a teacher's head?
I think if you've got enough people involved in something and set it up beforehand, like, you could do it. Because like we had a fucking substitute teacher one time. She came in, and she was wearing like just a normal pair of pants, but they had like kind of a bit of flowery or whatever. And one of the guys goes, "Here lads, let's keep asking her why she's wearing her pajamas." And for the whole class, but she started going all red and all and fucking. But she just cracked up by the end of the class, and she couldn't do the rest of the class, and she had to go out and tell the fucking principal. And the principal had to teach the class for the rest of the day. And he was like, "Little fuckers, I know what she's done, but she's gone home crying, that poor lady." And all we kept saying was like, "I understand, miss." And she goes, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" "Yeah, yeah. So 10 plus whatever is, yeah, I understand. But what I don't understand is, why are you wearing pajamas?" If you could do something that everyone else in the class got, but the teacher did, like, because remember one day, we used to slag this guy in our class that he looked like a horse, right, because he had loads of big teeth. So, and we'd be all like, and that was the thing, like, because everyone had a slagging, like, you know, that kind of. But I remember one day the teacher was giving out to him, going like, "You need to stop messing," and then I was like, going, "Yeah, you need to couple onto yourself," like, you know. And the whole class fucking broke down laughing. But the teacher didn't cop it because, like, she did obviously know that we were calling him a horse. So every now and again, like, the lads and like, we throw something like that in, like, you know, like, fuck's sake, couple onto yourself.
But I think, like, we were in a fucking very unique school because it was just so shit and the teachers were terrible. So I think half of them deserved the shit that we gave them. But I think just the simple fart was enough to wreck their heads because we got a laugh out of it. Yeah. They probably got a little laugh out of their heads.
What?
Fart. Oh, God. Thanks for that. Oh, God.
It sounded like, "Hey, plastic ribbon.
Burn that seat."
Suck it up and blow it up.
Well, okay, so big debate for me. I think a simple fart. What about you?
Yeah, just
you're a simple fart.
No, it was like, for me, it was just the community.
Yeah.
Once everyone else was in on it, it was brilliant. Like, you know, that kind of way. It was like,
okay, job done.
Job done. Ladies and gentlemen, right, so on today's
One for the
topic
ditch.
of One for the Ditch, donated to us by James O'Reilly. He doesn't know he donated, he left it in my house.
Thanks, Jimbo.
Thanks, Jimmy. So, Kilbeggan, traditional Irish whiskey, 1757. Ireland's oldest licensed distillery. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot there. There's a lot to take. We're going to taste a bit of Jimmy's stuff.
Jimmy's cheers.
Jimmy's. Right, so...
Okay, there's no description, so we're going to have to come up with
There's no description at all, which
we have
is
to smell
strange.
it and taste it.
Because, like, it's like whiskey these days just loves talking shite.
Yeah.
Not like us.
I got to smell of Meanies off it. Doesn't say that in the description.
Pickled onions.
Pickled onion flavour. Are you getting pickled onion, no?
She's nice.
She's nice. She's not
Very good.
I was going to say she's not very unpleasant at all.
No, do you know what? I don't know if it's the Meanies speaking or me, but
Meanies usually do speak to you. But for $20,
that is really good.
and what I would say is, Kilbeggan, if you're listening, we're open for sponsorship.
And Meanies if you're open.
What an accompaniment!
Meanies if you're
I
open.
mean,
Meanies if you're listening.
this is a match made in heaven. Meanies and Kilbeggan whiskey together at last. I think they should do some sort of collaboration.
It actually is really fucking good.
It isn't bad at all. Like, I mean, look at his face. Look at this guy's face. I mean, why aren't they doing more corn snack collaborations?
But you know what, actually, I went to a thing before, okay, and they were telling me food pairing. And no one was ever going to tell me to pair these.
Let's do it. Okay.
You're hearing it for real here, people.
Okay. Cheers
On that.
hombre.
Be good. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, if you're going for a meanie, always mix it with a Kilbeggan.
You're a fucking Kilbeggan.